So yeah, I do have something to send you. It's probably not going to get there till like next weekend.
Hey, that's fine. I I only thought it was weird that out of any work you asked me for my address.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I
It's
mean,
perfectly safe to send. What I'm
okay,
sending is perfectly safe.
okay, but you know, and then you for 5 years now it's out now. Well, it's hey, what's your address? But yeah, no, I'm
I
not,
hope I didn't make you uncomfortable.
no, I mean, not all this. It's just,
Your audio is cutting in and out a bit, I will say.
okay, give me a moment. I, I might never just hold on, but anyway, we all right. Hey, to anyone welcome. We'll begin the rule over tonight, but if again,
I will say you were cutting out every other word there.
uh, uh,
Um, count count to 10. Let's see how this is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, no, you're good. Okay, hopefully it stays.
Okay. If I need to turn my mic up, let me know.
Yeah, it wasn't the volume. It was just it was cutting off.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, it seemed to have stopped.
Okay. But anyway, since we all live right now, I will say welcome, and we have some okay series for tonight. So, yeah, Keckle
Wait,
gave
let me
me
go on YouTube. You were cutting out again. Let me see how this is.
could that be because of this phone?
All right, I'm gonna mute Discord and see how it is on YouTube.
Okay,
All right, talk.
alright, what's up, guys? There might be some delay with YouTube, but it should be good. I'm adjusting my mic sensitivity, so let me know if that's good. Test one, two, test one, two. Is that good? Pickles, let me know.
Okay, I was just listening to you on YouTube and it's fine there, so it is Discord.
Okay, I just adjust my mic sensitivity in Discord. How is it sounding to you now?
Much better. It looked like it was just cutting off some of it on Discord then.
Okay,
So, how's your week been?
it's been good. I got my new wheelchair today.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
I'm going to try and play Deltarune this weekend because the chapters 3 and 4 come out next week, and I know that's probably going to be something that's going to take over the internet.
Nice. That's cool. Uh,
Okay, so with the theory stuff, I did have to bring up like okay, so the whole what would this be like if another company made it?
yeah.
There's you said I wouldn't really call that like theories. That's basically just what would this production company do different, you know?
No, I know, and trust me, I honestly try to think of something, and I couldn't think of anything else, so that,
How about we go in a way to what we used to do, where we would both pick the same show and then make a theory about that?
okay, yeah, we could definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. We will solve that next week. Alright?
Gotcha. Uh, okay, because like the Bluey one is like, what if Bluey lives in America? I can do a little bit with that, but it is more along the lines of, okay, so the animals that Bluey are, they
Yeah,
do exist in America, and most of what Bluey is as a program is still pretty like there's nothing they could do in Bluey that you really couldn't do in America,
yeah.
because I actually thought Bluey took place in like a non like before I knew it was Australian, I thought it was Seattle. I
Ooh,
fully thought that Bluey took place in Seattle, Washington. Because if you just come from the outside watching Bluey and just looking at everything, it looks like it's in Seattle.
okay, I can see that. I am able to see that.
The the setting, the hills, the environment is either in Seattle or San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, if,
The whole area that Bluey specifically lives in looks like the Full House setting.
okay, yeah, yeah, that would be more San Francisco, California vibe. I got you.
Because it's not like Bluey takes place in Japan or,
No,
you know,
yeah, but I, I got you. I get what you're saying.
I mean, there are the obvious big things that they could go over, which are like, would Bluey have to worry about a school shooting? But that's not the type of thing which would be it regardless.
Yeah, yeah,
Or, they worry about health care.
yeah, no, I got you.
It's Bluey. It's Bluey basically seems like any other PBS. Bluey could be interchangeable with Arthur.
Yeah, I
You
see.
could very easily see Bluey moving and going to like Arthur's school and meeting up with Buster, or Buster just showing up in their area.
Yeah, no, I see that. I definitely see that.
Yeah, for the most part, there aren't really enough cultural differences of the program.
Okay.
Like I always said, I already thought it took place in Seattle.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So like I was surprised when I found out that it was an Australian show.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so let's go look. And yeah,
So this is really a case of me trying to figure out, what would change. I really couldn't think of anything.
Okay, so yeah, this is kind of what I thought might happen, and yeah,
I mean, if this was like a story change, like what if Bluey was being raised by a single parent? Like what then that's a theory that I can go along with, and that's
yeah, no, that makes more sense. I mean,
how this would change. Would either parent remarry? Are there characters that were introduced that could be a potential stepmother or stepfather?
yeah,
Um, Looking more into that, that's something we could go along the line with.
yeah, no, I got,
Uh,
um,
Neighbors, but yeah, as far as that was, I was completely stumped, which is not often, but that was just like a weird one to figure out. Oh no, and I'm sorry, man.
yeah,
I was.
I got, yeah, makes sense.
Hmm,
Uh,
this is a weird hand to start with.
yeah, and it won't help you to take it out your fault not through a 0 minute spell. So, okay, so you want me to begin because you
I'd say
basically,
that might be the best thing for everybody.
okay, yeah, okay, so my, the theory I have is what if Sissy had been a reactor from the beginning? Now, if you don't know what that is, just from that, you clearly have been keeping up with us for the past 5 months. But, okay, the, in the original Theorizer cover, this is often seen as a outsider, a comedic can this in a occasional Theorizer world. Okay. Okay. The Hindu Theorizer world secret makes sense, but what if things will differ? What if what if things have played out differently? What if things have been brought into the fold from the beginning? Chosen as one of the original Theorizer warlords alongside Jimmy Ulrich of a Jimmy. Why could it have happened? Okay, that was his follow is the principle. He already has he's already closer to the heart of Canada's operations than most students. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Um, that's long critical slight insight into the other things happening on campus, pumping Jerry to reluctantly involve her on only curiosity equals only discovery. In canon, she constantly suspects something strange happened. Uh, Mama, so, and, uh, it, yeah, and always in credit, this is constantly suspecting something strange happened in this alternate timeline. Maybe he follows over one night and stumbles upon the factory, discovering Rieko herself entrusted the team and to your erasable memory or let her in. Sissy has motivation that often portrayed as a self-centered, so that often portrayed as self-centered. Of course, on our desire to prove ourselves could evolve into a genuine need. A genuine need to protect our rights and be part of something bigger with proper development. This seems to become a more emotional driven world Okay, now just how she fits in. But before I continue, is there any questions you have for me, Keckle?
All right. All right. So, when it comes to this, um, all right. So for Sissy, and you're talking about her trustworthiness.
Yes,
One of the things that I initially was thinking of when I did bring this to your attention
yeah,
was the relationship between this and her clique. Because from what I'm remembering, her clique was not fully set in her introductory episode in the flashback, correct?
correct.
So would they even be involved if she was friends with the others? That's what I was thinking.
Um, Obviously, I don't think so. I mean, I think if she was a really good whole clique, if that's even what you want to call it, wouldn't it really exist? I mean, okay, would would Dusty still have a crush on her? Yes, but would they be following around all day and day? I don't think so. I mean, doesn't seem like it to me at all, but it's a possibility. Hmm. And out,
For now, not really. That's most of it's along the lines of what I was thinking you'd be going towards, but I want to see where else you're going.
got, I got the house she fits in. Oh, let's first go over we go Avatar. This is different from good for hopeful drama and glamour. A gothic substance or illusionist class manipulated the digital environment like a stage. Now, how, how long the team like the others rely on speed, strength, and range attacks. This is power could rub around the deception and deception confusion, making her a water cold on the battlefield. Unpredictable but extremely useful. Now, our casualty from as someone the group discussed specifically slowly on her face, all struggled to be taken seriously with mirrors the team over mistrust of William Reynolds in the series, but her art would give her a genuine redemption path. And I would just not spoil it anything for you, but
Right. Yeah, you better not. You better not be reading ahead.
now I'm trying to avoid that. Like I'll just try the story, but again before I get on anything about her avatar or on team or character development. Echoes?
I had been trying to figure out because in my head I had been falsely remembering that she was like a cheerleader. Wait, was she? I don't think she was.
Um, they don't have like a official squad, but
I remember her cheering.
yeah, she did cheer, but it was mainly I'm the only cheerleader at this school type of energy, if you know what I mean.
Okay, because I had been envisioning her basically being like an acrobatic cheerleader style fighter in Lyoko. And I was
Uh,
wondering if you had gone along the same thread with that. But then I looked and I looked back to try and see if that actually happened. I couldn't remember like an official cheerleading thing.
yeah,
But
no,
I guess yeah.
no. Anything else?
No. Basically my whole thing was like her being a cheerleader and her avatar being centered around that.
Okay. Now let's talk about that social circle we will discuss a bit.
All right.
With 50 in the group, there's more tension, but also more emotional range. Rivalries, especially Yumi, would be more stronger, but her inclusion might actually prevent real recruitment, reducing the risk of xenophobia. Jeremy next is Jeremy's tech. This is the corridor, but who social leaves and access to school info could help Jeremy develop level cover stories or get only one when suspicious activities occur.
Dare you take the risk? You dare.
Okay. Uh, and the last part on this is visual memory wipe. Is that be a liability? Sissy's knowledge of the would help avoid conflict, reset, and secrets. It could normalize how behavioral different and sense of purpose beyond chasing over it.
Yeah, give her something to actually do.
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting there.
Uh, alright. So, before I go, let me ask you this direct question. With,
Sure.
with the field memory wise, do you think, potentially sophisticated victory come on the team?
Okay, so this goes into what we were talking a bit about last session with the idea of characters keeping some memories of the previous timelines.
Yeah.
And I flat out would say, hell yes, Sissy should be turning on them because the amount of nonsense that they were pulling with the time reversals. And the amount of time she's helped them in different situations. And yet somehow they do not deem her worthy of sharing any of this knowledge.
Okay.
And it is nonsense, and you and I both know it.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to hear it come out of your mouth. But yeah, okay, so my adjectival suits here, my silver bullet, season 1, episode 5, Big Bug. In this early episode, this scenery discovered the factory that that's how close she always was to incorporate the truth in this alternate universe she follows through. And instead of pushing it all away, the group reluctantly brings her in, ready to foundation for her transformation into a wolf. Now, my final take on this is this secret conclusion for this thought wouldn't just change her, it would change the entire time of the reality. Her presence would uh, but, but the unpredictability and growth opportunity give the series a more nuanced, good and in time, although they could make hope one of the most valuable roles they have, the most unlikely hero from Havoc Academy.
I do like that, but I do have one other question.
Okay.
Um, since Yumi only exists on the team because of them being unable to get Sissy for that specific event at the start, would Yumi ever actually join then?
Well, the way I'm taking it is that we still have the main group. Like, since she joined that would be kind of like a mini arc spread over the full 5 episodes. Is how I take it.
Okay.
That it, think about what actually we just watched with William and how long it took them to add him to the team. But, apply that to see and remove the Venom possession at the end of that.
Okay.
So, it, you know, she's on the team as a prominent member and, you know, potentially will never join the
So it's more adding her to instead on top of instead of.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, basically. Okay,
Mm.
so, and then yours is gonna be switch, so let me hear it. Huh.
Oh, that's basically what I was discussing already.
Okay,
That's what I was starting us off with.
okay,
It was the jokes about the
okay,
had to do with the school shooting and whatnot,
okay,
but
so
in
you,
general, it boils down to there's precious little which would change with Bluey being set in the in the U.S.
okay,
Because there's unless there are things that I just didn't notice, for the most part, it seemed already to be a U.S. production. I mean, yes, the various actors, and there are. Um, I know that the writer said the environment was set up to, like, with the environment of Australia, but it's not something that I could even really notice.
okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I got it, I see where you're coming from, I get that now, my bad.
Yeah, it's like really what could change?
Yeah, no,
Um, do they go to like US landmarks? I mean, I'm just not really.
not that I recall, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got it. I misunderstood that whole diatribe, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Um,
I will ask this. What are your thoughts on some of the newer movies that have been coming out? Particularly, you know my thoughts on Lilo and Stitch. What have been your thoughts on some of these remakes that have been coming out?
Okay, so on the remakes as a whole, let me spell this out simply. There's some that I probably don't think needed to be made, and frankly, Willow and Six falls in that category because it, I mean, they didn't improve on anything. I mean, if anything, for what I want, they twisted it to make Jumbo the villain of it all.
Yeah, I will tell you that was a very, very bad. That was pain. That was a painful change, especially with like how beloved Jumba is as a character.
Yeah.
It's like he is a secondary protagonist of that film, and this they did not know what they were doing with him.
Yeah, so the fact that they felt like they needed to change his schedule to a intent just kind of ultimately, I mean, so not to change movies okay, but the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon remake that releases what next week, sometime next month.
I think so.
Okay, so you tell me what aspects of that movie can be one remade and what could they possibly add or remove from it to make it make sense? Because in my opinion, there's nothing that needs to be removed. Now, added, I might argue a bit more backstory on Hiccup's mom, but that's all I really see on that. What about you?
Well, I will say one of the larger problems with remaking it at all is that okay, what do you like? What drew you to the How to Train Your Dragon films? Like, what's great about them to you that just feels good?
I mean, honestly, just the fact that it was something somewhat unique. I mean, you know, for me, I would say the only other dragon movie that I even saw was the first, well, not only the first, but the threat series. Right.
Gotcha.
I mean,
All right, let me say this. For
okay,
me, one of the things is definitely the dragon designs,
okay,
which work perfectly in animation,
yeah,
but do not. Most of those dragons are not going to look good in a live action with real actors.
yeah, no,
Those things are designed to look good with their human counterparts.
yeah,
It is not going to look good having like the weird scraggly two-headed dragons next to a real person.
yeah, no, I got you. Now, okay, let me ask you. A couple years back, I saw something about them wanting to make a live action look like film. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I have not, and that is a dumb idea with
I
a
know,
capital D.
I know, right? I mean, it's stuff like that where I have to shake my head because it's simply like, why we make this at all? I mean, you don't need to do it. Like, it's done. But, yeah, I mean, okay, if you wanted to make a movie from any sphere, possibly I would pick Black Cauldron. What?
A remake of Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I like Black Cauldron.
Okay.
Um, the Chronicles of Primeridian, I think it's what the series is supposed to be.
Okay.
That is something which I would say does deserve a second chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means I want it remade.
Okay. So, what are you thinking?
I don't think that needs to be like a live action remake because we were talking about live action remakes, right?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's hmm.
Oh, oh.
Hmm. Oh.
Where's that? Oh.
Yeah, if ever Clarkson, he's
I,
probably 2 moves away from destroying. So
yeah.
I might as well play a good card here if I had any, but no, I'm playing that right now. Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, so if we want to look at, one of the two films that had the most remakes. I would definitely say Cinderella did not need to be remade multiple times. I mean,
Alright, looks like I lucked out there.
uh, okay. Mm,
And there we go. Okay, so the thing about Black Cauldron is that was a story that was utterly butchered, that
mm,
changed so many different things in combined books. I I will say actually I would be interested in seeing them redo that. Something similar in the way to fixing what they did with the Percy Jackson story. Because they
Um,
remade Percy Jackson and fixed a lot of the issues.
yeah, yeah. Now, I will say a remake can be done well, like you just said, Percy Jackson. I watched the fourth movie, and you know, I didn't know about Percy Jackson at the time, but we watching the series last year, I was utterly impressed with how big of a change that got and was helpful to keep my interest in that series. So,
Or Dark Chronicles. No. Okay, the Golden Compass remake that they did.
okay.
Dark Materials. That's another case of like doing something over again and fixing the previous issues.
Alright. Yeah.
So remakes can work.
Yeah, they can. They definitely can if you know how to make them work. But not everyone knows how to make it work.
It's
Uh,
also a case of if something's done well the first time, you don't need to remake it.
yeah, look,
Lilo and Stitch was done perfectly the first time. Lilo and Stitch was envisioned as a children's book, which fits perfectly into animation, not live action the way they
yeah,
did it.
yeah, no, I mean, Lilo was great the first time. Even the sequel was great to it.
Or the or the animated series.
Yeah, and that was great. I I enjoyed those, but yeah, the the whole live action bandwagon I don't like at all.
Yeah, I stand with you there.
Uh, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to call it for night. So,
Gotcha. I'm good too. I'm gonna actually get some sleep for the first time in a while.
okay, cool. Uh, uh,
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening, man. And I
You,
will see you next week for Over the Garden Wall.
yeah, alright. See,
Now remember, we're doing the first half, so first 5 episodes.
okay, cool. Alright, see you then.
See ya.